Hey, everybody. Welcome back to At Titi's House Podcast. As you know, we originated on YouTube, and you can still watch our video on YouTube, at Titi's House Podcast on YouTube. We're also available on Spotify, on iHeartRadio, and of course, we are now new to Apple Podcasts. So let's talk about it today. Do we have any polls or anything, producer? Nothing this week, huh?
I think we did have a poll last week. I'm about to check right now.
I think we did.
I'm checking right now.
What was our poll for last week?
Our poll.
And let's get them the results from our poll.
Our poll was.
Our poll was.
Look, Instagram done changed stuff around again.
Oh, really? Oh, Instagram. Why are you doing that to us? We're getting familiar with what we're doing.
Yeah, man.
And of course, we always say what we're doing, everyone. We are building this. We are flying this plane as we build it. That's our old motto, and we still stick by that.
Oh, man. They changed. It's a new. I don't know where where to find this stuff at now.
It's okay. We can always come back to it, or.
Yeah, I look for it
while we're talking. Let's get into it. Mm-hmm. So today I wanted to, first let me just say, our video that we posted, we talked about it last week and we gave some commentary, but I want people to know that we have to be able to control our emotions, right? When we're responding to people and making sure that we're not saying things that are, because I can say some things that are probably bad too. I know I did say one guy only had 2 likes. Like, don't be, man, get out of my face with them 2 likes. But we shouldn't be doing that because we need to be nice humans, right? Yeah. So I feel like today I wanted to talk about, just because of that and just social media in general, sometimes we respond based off of emotions or we don't know how to control our emotions. So I want to talk about, in our first segment, let's talk about it. I want to talk about emotional intelligence. And if you don't know what emotional intelligence is, it's the ability for a person to be aware and be able to control and express their emotions, right? And that's in a good or bad situation. So I want to talk about that. Let's talk about ways that, we can control, or tips on controlling our emotional intelligence. I want to first start by a quote by Maya Angelou. And her quote says, "I've learned people will forget what you said, people will forget what you did, but people will never forget how you made them feel."
Yeah, I've heard
that's a powerful quote, isn't it?
Yeah, for sure.
That means that how you made them feel, how you responded to a certain situation. You could have said something really nasty or mean, and that's what people remember
more than anything.
And more than anything, you could have done some things that were really nice, like paid their rent, paid their car payment, helped them do some things around the house. You might have painted, but they ain't gonna remember that. What they're gonna remember is how you made them feel. I think that was like a really strong quote. So I wanted to bring that up before we get into emotional intelligence. When you're emotionally intelligent, it can lead to a good personal and even professional relationship. When you are aware of how to control your emotions when you're talking to people or even interacting with people, whether it's personal or on a professional level. If you're unable to control your emotions, it can be a really bad thing. Think about that. What happens when you got two people that can't control their emotions? A lot of times there's rage, yelling back and forth. You're not allowing that person to speak. The other person's yelling, you're yelling. You see that a lot.
Yeah, people try and talk over each other. A
lot of talking over each other. Like how can you effectively listen to the person when you're in your feelings and y'all are yelling at one another and not able to control your emotions, right? Kason, that's gonna get
What is that?
That's the dog playing with his toy.
Oh, okay.
Oh my goodness. Sorry guys. We are building this plane as we fly it. To be truthfully honest, we have moved him out of the vicinity thinking, okay, he's gonna be quiet. And now we have to remove a toy that he's playing with. So I apologize for the the interruption at this point. Our producer is going over and removing the toy from the crate, and hopefully all the noisy toys from the crate. So I apologize. We're good. Yes, producer went over there and solved the problem. So, like I said, there has to be an emotional balance, and that's for the two people. I think if one person, I think even both people don't have to be in emotional balance, right? As long as one person is, because I think that controls the narrative.
No, I think the other person ain't even going to understand if they're not emotionally intelligent,
right?
Too, you know what I mean? That's just like, yeah, they both got to be emotionally intelligent, I think, for it to work. Because if not, it's just going to be a little bit of toxic still makes it toxic.
But at least the person that is emotionally intelligent can walk away.
And then the other person is going to chase them.
If they're aware of their feelings. Well, that's true, too. The other person might react by invading their space.
Throwing something at them, grabbing them.
That's true. You think about that. You would hope that it's not like that. Yeah. But
no, because they're not going to understand. Like, they're going to take it as disrespect that they're walking away. Not that the person is trying to let the thing fizzle out.
Right, exactly. Yeah, that's true. I didn't think about that, because you have to be able to control your emotions. Both people, both parties need to learn how to control emotions. So we're going to talk about that today. People that aren't able to control their emotions, it's, you, in a conversation where it's heated and emotions are out of control, there's a decrease in communication, right? Mm-hmm. You can't communicate effectively if you're both wrapped up in a heated conversation.
You're going to say stuff you don't mean.
You're going to say stuff you don't mean. And guess what? Once you say something, you cannot take that back.
Yeah. Because truthfully, honestly, it's coming from somewhere. You know, even if you don't fully mean it, you mean a little bit of it.
You definitely do. They said in the heat of the moment, you say exactly what you feel. Exactly. And you really, in the heat of the moment, you really try to hurt somebody's feelings. Mm-hmm. You're going to say things that are really nasty and with the intent of hurting someone's feelings, right? So when you're, when you're not able to communicate in the heat of the moment, what do people normally do? They'll hang up the phone, block you. So the conversation is not, I feel like if you can't communicate and that's what happens, you never resolve the issue, because you never get an understanding of what led to that argument in the first place. Right? Does that make sense? Like, you're in the heat of the moment, you're not communicating effectively, you're hanging up the phone, or you say, okay, we've talked about it, we're not getting anywhere, let's just not even talk about it. And it goes unresolved. And what happens? It comes up again in the future. So a lot of yelling matches, like you said, one person talking over the other. Yeah. And in some cases, ultimately somebody gets hurt. Somebody can get killed. We just talked about the man that was served divorce papers. When he was served those divorce papers and his wife is in the house with him, you don't know what emotions were running over that, because we said he was emotionally, controlled by his emotions. That's probably what made him snap. People snap. People become, enraged and want to hurt that person. So we have to be aware of our emotions. And that's in anything that we do. You could be having a conversation or something happened at the grocery store with somebody, and instead of, cussing that person out, you got to be able to control all of that.
I always try to be the bigger person. I also got a temper problem. Me knowing that I get angry fast, I just let everybody have it.
You do? Yeah. I don't even see you being like that.
When I get mad, and I say crazy stuff. Me and Sin used to fight all the time, and it would just go back and forth. He would get mad, and then I would get madder, and then I'd say something crazy. And
it would be petty, and then I would be in the middle trying to make them make up, which y'all always did, and y'all always felt hurt about the situation. So I think that being able to recognize that you're hurt by what you've said, you know what I'm saying? It hurt you just as much as you trying to hurt them. Yeah, for sure. I think we have to recognize that too. A lot of times when you are emotionally not there, because you can have a person that's just not an emotional person, and they just be like, all right, whatever. And that just makes the person that is that's very emotional mad. Because it's like you're not even listening to me or paying attention to my needs or wants. You're only thinking about yourself type situation. So I wanted to talk about on marriage.com. They had a great article. And this, like I said, this came up for me because a lot of times, on social media, people you got haters out there. You got people that are going to hate on you. And sometimes we come back with a nasty response because our feelings are hurt.
Yeah.
Or like,
they be hurting your feelings,
how dare you say that? Nah, they don't be hurting my feelings. I laugh about it.
Me too.
But everybody doesn't have the same personality to laugh or the same character traits to laugh about it. I always say it's funny to me because you don't know me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
judging
saying?
Me off of
you judging me
20
off of
seconds.
20, not even 20 seconds. It's probably like 3 to 5. And you think you know me? You think you know I'm single? Huh? Don't you want to know? Like at the end of the day, it's like, you don't know me. But people get upset when people comment and call them ugly. It's like it hurts their feelings.
Yeah, because there's no ugly people in the world. Everybody's beautiful.
Everybody is beautiful. You're right. Everybody's beautiful in their own way. I think so anyway. So I wanted to talk about 14 tips to deal with emotions. So we're going to go through these tips because I think this is good for everybody on social media. Everybody that works in front of people, right? Anybody working customer service. Because what do they say in customer service? The customer is always right.
Always right, no matter what.
No matter what.
Yeah, I used to hate that about customer service. Yeah,
customer service. The customer's always right. You're not right. The customer is always right. So we have to think about that when you're dealing with emotions and other people's emotions, because the customer might be upset that you didn't put I remember one time I went to Popeyes. I ain't gonna lie, y'all. I was hungry and I was so mad. Guess why? Because they didn't put my biscuit in the damn
That's the whole reason we came.
That was the whole reason I went to Popeyes. Popeyes, y'all be messing up sometimes. Oh my God. So I got all the way like halfway. I got halfway home. I stopped at a light and I was like, I'm hungry. I'm going to pull out this piece of chicken. Man, I turned all the way back around and said, I ain't getting no biscuit.
Did they give you a biscuit?
Where is my biscuit? No, they came up. They was like, how do we know? So the girl got smart. How do we know you didn't eat the biscuit?
Because I wouldn't have drove all the way back at 20 minutes later.
Man, I would have hid the biscuit before I pulled off and said I didn't get no biscuit.
Exactly.
I drove a whole mile and a half. Y'all, I was almost home. And when I realized at the light, when I pulled out that, because I wanted the biscuit at the light, and I started eating my French fries, I was like, damn, no biscuit. I'm turning around. I'm mad now. I'm turning around. My emotions are high. I want to get over there. And
adrenaline rushing over the biscuit.
Right, over the biscuit. Mad as hell because I want my biscuit. But it was so funny because when I get to the window, I was like, you ain't gave me no biscuit. And she was like, yes, we did. No, you didn't. I drove all the way a mile and a half back to get my biscuit. And she was like, all right, but they only gave me one biscuit. They could have gave me 2 Popeyes.
I mean, they were supposed to give you. Oh, you just saying an extra one for the inconvenience?
For the inconvenience.
No, remember you ate the one they gave you already.
Right, exactly. So I really did have 2 biscuits. Nah, I didn't. I was mad as I don't know what that I didn't get a biscuit, but
no, I
turned around.
I get so mad. I had to start checking like all my food before I leave.
I had to. You know what's so funny? Because one of our tips, the first tip is to pause and think before you act, and that drive back. First, I was mad as crap, but on that drive back, I was really thinking about what am I going to say when I get to this window? Because I was really mad about this biscuit.
You had to wait in line again, too?
I had to wait in line again because the inside was closed.
Oh, man.
So I had to wait in line. So I really had to stop and think about it and really analyze like the situation. Well, maybe they thought they put a biscuit in there. Maybe they didn't have biscuits at the time. They ran out. Instead of just telling you, I'm going to give you an extra piece of chicken because we ain't got no biscuits. Do you want to wait for the biscuits? I would have took anything.
Yeah, I'm waiting for the biscuit.
Exactly. So, guys, our first tip for dealing with emotions is pause and think before you act out or speak up. You got to stop and think before you start saying something like we said earlier that you might regret. You might say something that's really hurtful to that person. Because I know some women that have said some things to a man that messes up their manhood.
Yeah, forever.
Baby, don't do that. Don't do that. Man will never forgive you. It'll stay on his brain forever. Y'all know what I'm talking about. But I've had a girlfriend say that she said something to her spouse and was like, man, you ain't hitting all the spots in the bedroom. Like,
grimy.
You know, you could be doing better. Like that bruises a man's ego. So we got to stop and think.
He can have performance anxiety.
Performance issues after that.
Because it's always going to be on his mind.
And guess who's going to suffer? She is. Yep. Because she done said,
now
it's really too small. It ain't working. It don't fit. You ain't moving to the rhythm. It could be so many things in the bedroom that's not going right. But ladies and gentlemen, we got to stop and think about how we deliver the message.
Yeah, because it's a way to say it to not hurt
their feelings, right? So pause and think before acting out or saying something that you're gonna regret. Number 2, always process how you feel. So process your own emotions. Find out why and what you're feeling. Mm-hmm. You personally, why am I feeling this way? Why am I hurt? Why am I enraged? Why don't I like this person anymore? You have to think about processing your emotions, right? Mm-hmm. And I always say, for me, when I was going through a really tough a tough time in my marriage, what I did was a lot of journaling. I bought myself a journal, and I went through those things so quickly, y'all. I probably had about a good 200 or something.
Man, you still got those journals?
I think I do.
Yeah, you might have to turn those into a book.
So every day I would just journal in these books and journal in my feelings and why this person made me feel this way, how I reacted to how they made me feel, why I can't stand their ass, like all that stuff. But it helps. What it does is help you relieve some of that tension that you're feeling. It helps you go back. The main important thing is that when you're journaling, it allows you to go back and process those emotions. Like what triggered me to feel this way? Why I felt this way? How did I allow him to make me feel this way and kind of go, lose control or whatever? Because a lot of times, like we said, if you say something, do something that we cannot turn back the hands of time. It happens. You can't turn back what you said and you can't turn back what you do. It's already passed. So definitely journaling is a good way. I always tell my friends this. Journaling, write down the pros and cons of your relationship. What's working, what's not working, what you like, what you don't like. And talk about it and share it with your partner. Have them do the same thing and you share it too. Because I think that's a great way to express your feelings to the other person. Also, number 3, take a moment and ask yourself, why was you triggered and what caused that emotion? So taking a moment to ask yourself, have you ever responded in a situation and wished you hadn't responded in that way? Has there ever been a situation where you've responded a certain way and you wish you hadn't?
Yeah, plenty of times.
Me too. I think I've said things. Because I think my sign is when I get a little upset or whatever, I just kind of back off and just don't call, don't text. I'm not reaching out to you. I need time to really think about what my next step is going to be. Mm-hmm. Right?
Yeah, I do that often.
Yeah, you got to take a moment, guys, to step back and see what exactly made you feel that way, what triggered that feeling, so that we know how to respond the next time too. Got to know, we got to learn from how we handle situations so that if it's a positive way, you can reinforce that by doing it again in the next situation that you're in. So always think about that. There's always a positive and a negative, but always try to pull the positive out of, how you're feeling and not react negatively, but more positively if you can. Always, number 4 is don't dwell on negative thoughts. That's what I was just talking about. Like, don't dwell on the negative that's running through your mind. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes the first thing is, you're looking at that person, say, I could choke the shit out of you. I might want to choke the hell out of that person. Don't dwell on those thoughts because it just makes you even more angry and it makes you want to. You're not supposed to put your hands on people. You're not supposed to put your hands on people. But sometimes when you have negative thoughts, it makes you react or act out on those negative thoughts. So you want to stay away from that. So don't dwell on the negative. Try to pull the positive out if it's just pulling, through the conversation or through the emotion, pull out the positivity in it if you can, if there's something positive, but do not dwell on any negative thoughts. Number 5, be careful in how you speak. And this is, really hard to do, because when you're in your emotions, we talked about it, you're yelling, you might be screaming, you might get silent. Lack of communication is not good either, because you're holding it in. Most people that don't talk about their emotions, they become emotionally vacant. You know what I'm saying?
No, that might be what I am. Because when something bothers me, I don't want to talk about it for the most part.
You don't?
It's just gonna make me angry.
It just makes you mad.
I'd rather just.
But over time, with not talking about it, do you feel like it's unresolved? Because I would think that it's unresolved. If you're not talking about it, you're not. I mean,
if it's somebody that I'm gonna continue to be with, then I will talk about it eventually. But if it's somebody that just maybe just like I was talking to in passing and they just irritated me, I'm out.
You don't talk to them again.
Yeah, I'd be
There's
gone.
a lot of people that do that. That kind of ghost people when they're in an emotional state and things are heated. They just be like, they'll walk away.
Yeah,
they
I'm
say
out.
you're supposed to walk away from the situation if you're going to be sarcastically responding. The potential of being violent, you want to walk away. So that's the main thing. Walk away if you feel like the conversation is going to get so heated that it can become violent.
Or if you feel like there's going to be or I'll do that if this is the second or third time we're having the same conversation. I'm like, obviously this is going to keep reoccurring.
Right.
I'm not trying to keep dealing with this.
Right.
So then I'll be like, all right.
And some people just don't communicate well. Yeah. We have to understand, I think I'm an overly communicator. And I always tend to get the people that don't communicate well, and I overly communicate. I want to talk about it. And that might be just the occupational therapist in me too, where I just want to talk about it. I want to get my feelings out there so that you can understand me and that you are aware of what makes me sad, what hurts me, what I feel needs to be better for us to progress forward in the relationship. And some people just be like, I don't want to talk about it. That's not a way to resolve anything. Both parties have to be in it and discuss it for it to become better.
Yeah.
You can't. You can't just hold those emotions in.
Yeah, I don't know. I've been with people who I feel like make problems out of nothing. It's like, this isn't,
this ain't a problem?
This isn't a problem. There's nothing. You're just, they just need drama. I've been with people who need drama. They just want something to be wrong. And I'm just like, now what is going on here?
Yeah, there are some people, that's what they consider toxic.
Oh, yeah.
There are people with toxic personalities that you need drama to feed off of so that the relationship is good.
Yeah,
I don't want that for myself.
No, me neither. That's why I'd be out. I'd be like, yeah, I'm checked
Who
out of this.
wants to be involved in drama that it's like every day a consistent something is always wrong.
Something is always wrong. Exactly.
That's a negative person.
Yeah.
I wouldn't even say toxic. I think that some people are not toxic, but that they're just negative in the way that they speak, in the way that they think, in the way that they express themselves, and that can rub off on you and make you a negative person too. It's funny because I was in a relationship, and this is my experience. Once again, my experience where I've been at. I was in a relationship with somebody that was very, I would say, narcissistic. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of times I felt unheard in that relationship. I felt that it was a lot of manipulation going on. I felt like, and just the meanness. I felt like he was really mean a lot of times. And I felt like over time, I became that person.
You love mean people. It seems like you always attracted to guys that be mad mean.
I know, maybe because I'm just nice. I don't know. Maybe because I'm just the type of I like to think I'm a positive person. You know what I'm saying? I come in with good aura and positivity, but sometimes I don't attract that. And I've been with somebody who was mean, and And it's funny because after him and I, we were in a 4-year relationship, and after we broke up, my girlfriends were like, damn, what did he do to you? Because you mean as hell. And I was like, am I really that person? Did I become that person by being with that person? Do you think that that can happen?
Yeah, because you are who you surround yourself with.
That's true.
Your company
and it's
and
funny
everything.
because a lot of times I hear people saying, surround yourself with like-minded people.
Yeah.
People, like, if you're business minded and you're money oriented and you a hustler, you need to surround yourself with those types of people, right?
Yeah.
That's what they say. I think that you do take on the personality of the person that you're with. And that could be a good thing or a bad thing. Either that person can take on your personality or you can take on their personality. And it's true. I think that as I came out of that relationship, I was very guarded, and I wasn't willing to I didn't want to be in no relationship with nobody. I was just like, I could be by myself. And I stayed by myself for a couple years. Like, I didn't want the headache of being with somebody, but it really made me evaluate. It gave me time to heal from that and to really understand what made me stay in the relationship for so long. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of times we stay out of love. It could be out of that person just needing you and you not being able to walk away because you know that they need you and they may not be able to make it without you. I think that's what kept me in there for so long. But I know we kind of got a little bit off topic, but we do that sometimes here at Titi's house. So you got to learn how to communicate. That's number 6. Learn how to communicate, people. You cannot communicate and solve anything when you're in your feelings. And don't they say that? If you're in your feelings, how are you going to communicate with somebody? It's all about you at that moment. I think for me, if somebody is talking to me and I'm unable to communicate my feelings, it kind of gives me anxiety. And I kind of I shut down. When they're talking to me, I ain't listening no more. Not listening to anything you're saying. I've lost the inability to listen and communicate effectively because of the way you are talking to me. Whether it's disrespectful, whether you're talking loud to me, because I'm just not used to that type of behavior.
Stuff, yeah.
Because I'm not yelling or screaming.
Exactly. Now
I can't get like that. You can experience the hood Delcey. You can definitely get her because she does exist. The Jersey Delcey will come out.
Yeah.
But normally you'll get the nice Delcey. You know what I'm saying? But you got to watch out how you express your feelings and how you communicate those feelings to someone else. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yelling is never it.
Yelling is never.
Shut down instantly too.
Yeah, yelling is never. When you start yelling and on top of each other, that's not communicating effectively. It's not going to go anywhere.
Yeah, I'm not yelling. I'm not arguing. I'm not yelling. None of that.
It goes nowhere, y'all. Walk away. Come back when you're ready to sit down at the table and have a conversation, an effective conversation that's effective for the both of you when you're not in your feelings. So also another number 7, which I think this works for me all the time. I don't know how it works for other people, but I think it works for me. It's one of my coping skills when I'm going through something stressful, and that's taking deep breaths to calm down. If you take a deep breath, what that does is it reduces your heart rate and your blood pressure over time. And then you become calm. And I think that works in I get anxiety real bad. So when I get anxiety, I take deep breaths. And I think that works. Have you ever used that technique?
Yeah, I have. Whenever I feel anxious too. It's a specific breathing technique. I think it's called like 4-7-8. Have you heard of that before?
No.
So it's called the 4-7-8 breathing technique. And you breathe in for 4 seconds, hold it for 7, and then exhale for 8.
Oh, that's good.
And anytime I feel super anxious, I do that.
That's a good idea.
It definitely helps.
So you breathe in for 4, breathe out for 7,
hold it for 7,
and then breathe out for 8.
Yeah.
That's a good 4-7-8 method.
It just allows you to get back into the rhythm of
it reduces your heart rate, your blood pressure. Because if you think about it, when you're in a heated thing, that's fight or flight.
Yeah, exactly.
Your whole body is just like you're emotionally in a bad place when you're in that fight and flight stage, okay? So you definitely taking deep breaths. It works for me. I use it a lot because I'm an anxious person, and I feel like when I'm taking the deep breaths, I never thought about holding it in for 4, breathing in for 4, holding it for 7, and then breathing out for 8. Never use that method, but I'm going to start using that.
Yeah, it works. It works really well.
Okay, definitely. So that's a tip number 7. Tip number 8 is be mindful of your body language. People don't understand that body language, you ain't got to say nothing.
Yeah, it says it all.
But a person's body language says it all. Mm-hmm. I was in a relationship with this person that I was just talking about, and he used to always say my body language gave away what I was feeling.
Yeah, I can't fake it either.
I can't.
Face, you can see it.
He'd be like, what's wrong with you? And I'd be like, nothing. Oh, yeah, there's something wrong with you because your body language is saying that is something wrong. That's somebody that really has learned you as a person, has really learned how you move, how you maneuver, what things excite you, what don't excite you. That's body language is very, very important. They always say people have that resting bitch face. Or if body language is not just your face, but it's how you position your body. If you're with your hands closed, you know what I'm saying? This means that you're
closed off, protecting
you're closed
yourself.
off to that person. That means you're closed off. Not only, you're listening. When you're like this, you probably ain't even listening to the person that's talking to you. You're closed off, right? Doing this, someone's face, the space. Because when you you have to be careful of putting your hands on something, because sometimes body language, you might put your hands on somebody. You know what I'm saying? So be careful not to invade someone's personal space, because that is considered, you can be considered assaulting someone.
Yeah.
If you are invading their personal space. It's not hard to do when somebody pisses you off. You understand what I'm saying? So be careful. Pointing in someone's face, that leads to altercation. Somebody, get your fingers out my face. You know what I'm saying? Don't put your hands in my face. I want to tell you, if you put your hands in my face, that's going to trigger something in me. Because my mother, when she used to reprimand us, she used to be like,
yeah, I hate feeling like a child.
I feel like that's just like demeaning.
Yeah.
And don't do that shit.
Yeah, that's how yelling feels to me. When somebody yells at me, it makes me feel like a kid.
Like, and it makes you react, and you start, you be in your emotions. It takes me back to childhood too. Don't put your fingers in my face, because I feel like when you start doing this, you're invading personal space, and a fight can ensue after that. So you want to be careful. Number 9, walk away. Walk away. We talk about walking. You got to be the bigger person to walk away, right? I think a lot of people feel like if they walk away, it's like being a coward. I'm not walking away because I'm not no coward. I ain't going to try to curse, but I ain't no, you know what, B-I-T-C-H.
Yeah, I'm walking away because I ain't trying to go to jail, whether it be a man or a woman that I'm having a disagreement with.
Yeah, because if you...
It's to protect yourself. That's how I look at it. It's like I'm walking away to protect myself.
I'm going to walk away because I'm not trying to go to jail. Remember what I said, you can't turn back the hands of time. Once you put your hands on them, it's over with for you. And if you're a professional and you hold a license in any state, you can lose, it's domestic violence, you can lose your license. Trust me, I know. So you definitely, I'm speaking from experience, you definitely do not want to put your hands on anybody. It's not worth it at the end of the day. It ain't worth it. I ain't trying to fight you for what? What is that going to prove? Me and you in there fighting. We going to jail. And really, the both of us could probably go to jail. So at the end of the day, don't put your hands on nobody, y'all. Walk away from the situation. Walk away until you can come back calm, and that you can talk to that person, communicate effectively with the person that you're in the heated conversation with. Control your emotions. Walk away. You got to think about, so number 11 is think about what relationship you want to have for yourself. Is this a good relationship? I always say, write the pros and the cons down. And if the cons outweigh the pros, baby, that person is not for you. Not for you. You got to know as a person what you're looking for in that relationship, and you have to be able to relay that to the person that you're with. If you're a type of person that that person doesn't call you or text you throughout the day, a lot of people were saying hey, when I said I don't want a needy person, I don't want to be contacted 20 times a day. But some people require full conversations throughout the day. They want to be texted, they want to be called, they want the person to show interest. That is all cool. But you have to lay down what you want out of the relationship.
Yeah, I'm busy.
I'm busy too, damn it.
Yeah, I ain't got time for that.
And I said it so many times. I said on the actual podcast that if I'm interested, I am reaching out and calling and texting you if I'm interested. But you have to reciprocate what I'm doing for me to continue to do it.
Yeah, I ain't gonna just keep blowing you up.
I'm not going to keep blowing you up and you're not interested. So express your interest so that I can know whether you're interested or not.
Yeah. And
then I'll continue to pursue, because I feel like pursuing someone goes both ways, right? Mm-hmm. A man pursues a woman, but a woman has to reciprocate what he's doing.
Yeah, or if you're busy, I'm not going to keep texting you and I know you're busy. If I know you're doing something, you're in school all day, why am I going to keep texting you?
Yeah, you might get that one text and you might not reply for a couple of hours. Like, that's okay too. I'm okay. I've just never been a needy woman. Like, I don't, you know what I'm saying? It's cool. I mean, who doesn't want to spend time with their partner? Who doesn't want to be, in a nice, committed relationship with that person and exchanging great conversation or whatever? But that's not always the case. But I'm not chasing behind you for you to talk to me. That's what I meant when I said what I said. People just were like, they wasn't hearing it. They was just like, oh, that's why the world is the way. Man, shut up. Y'all don't even know what the hell y'all talking about. Anyway, know what you want out the relationship and know what you want to have out of that relationship and express it to the person that you're with. That allows you to control your emotions as well. Mm-hmm. Also, talk to someone. This is what I was just saying to you. You got to be able to talk to someone. If it's not the person that you're talking to, because you say you walk away and you might not talk to them again, but you got to take whatever you're I feel like talking to my girlfriends. There's only certain girlfriends you can talk to. You can't talk to everybody. Because your girlfriends, one thing I could say about girlfriends is that their allegiance is to you. Mm-hmm. So when they see dude, they ain't gonna like them. Mm-hmm. There's some that ain't gonna budge, ain't gonna bend. They just gonna be giving him the stare like, this is him. So you want to be careful.
This is him.
Yeah, you want to be careful who you talk to about your relationship, what's working, what's not working. Definitely talk to someone because that helps you process your emotions. That's the main reason you're talking to someone, because it's helping you process your emotions and what you just went through. And it'll help you. They'll give you pointers on how to handle the next situation that you're in like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
and even if you
trust them.
Yeah, if you trust them.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Why wouldn't you trust them? If you're talking to them, that means that you confide in them.
Yeah. Or you're just trying to get it off your chest.
I mean, because a lot of guys go to the barbershop and have those conversations. Man, my girl is tripping. Yeah. She done said this, and that. You know what I'm saying?
They're going to point you in the wrong direction.
The barbershop is like the beauty shop. That's where all the advice happens. I feel like barbers and beauticians are social workers in a sense.
Yeah, they're therapists by their own right.
Yeah, by their own right. Just because they talk to so many other people, they're getting the the conversations from different perspectives, and then they come back and they can give you the perspective. Well, this lady said this, that lady said that. Like, I think that's a great thing. But you got to find somebody that you can trust, that you can talk to, even if it's somebody a therapist that you need to go see and pay, and you don't want to talk to your friends about it. It's funny because I was watching an interview where Method Man talked about his wife, and she said. The interviewer, I think it was Sherry Shepherd, she said, how has your marriage worked so well? And he said, because they don't tell their problems to other people. Mm-hmm. They keep it within themselves. That made a lot of sense, because when you go out, like I said, when you go out and you talk to your friends about your situation, they judge them. And then they start saying, oh, well, if that was me, I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't put up with that, this and that. You know what I'm saying? It starts to sway maybe how you think of things or how you react.
I've always been pretty private myself. I never really shared much of
what was going on.
Things go wrong. You know, I could figure it out. I think I'm intelligent enough to figure out what's going on in my life. I think
so too. And if you have emotional intelligence, you'll definitely figure out it eventually. So it all ties back to that emotional intelligence, I'm telling you. So so number 13 is learn to forgive to move on. Learn to forgive to be able to move on.
To move on, so that you're not dwelling on it in the next relationships or the next time that y'all encounter a problem. You bringing up old stuff like,
because we are right. We just said this last month. Da, 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 da. You know what I'm saying? Because that comes up a lot. You're always dwelling on the past. People that if man's cheated, a woman is still dealing with those emotions. And then she comes back, and if you cheat again and again and again, once a cheater, always a cheater, that's what they say. I'm just saying what I've heard. I'm not saying that's what I believe. I believe anybody can change that wants to change, right? Steve Harvey said it too. Steve Harvey says it all the time. A man gonna change for who he want to change for. A woman gonna change for who she want to change for. So definitely.
And a man gonna cheat on for who he want to cheat with.
Yeah, no, that's true. Talking. If he want to cheat, he's gonna cheat. You can't control people. You can't control. I always say, what you do in the dark will come to the light. What you do in the dark will come to the light. If you out here running game on women and being promiscuous, all that stuff catches up to you. Have you seen the show? And y'all, I'm sorry. You know, I gotta say this because it's on my mind before we get to number 14. But have you seen the show with Tammy Roman?
I don't know who that is.
I think it's called Caught in the Act. No. She used to be on the Basketball Wives of L.A.
It's good.
Man, is it? Because let me tell y'all, it's great TV. I have yet to see an episode where they have cheated with just one person. Man, there was a guy, and I'm sure there's episodes out there where it's one person cheating on the other. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, is this reality?
This is reality.
Oh, yeah, I gotta watch this.
You gotta watch it. Caught in the Act. Yep. Tammy Roman. It's on Prime Video.
Okay.
So I was watching, and it was a guy on there. Now, ladies, he was okay. He wasn't like fine. He wasn't like Shamar Moore or let me think about who I think is fine. The Game. I think The Game is so fine. Like he wasn't like fine. He was just okay, an average guy. But guess what? He had 4 women that he got caught cheating with. And he would call, each woman would be like, one was his business partner. The other one was the girl that was his ex-girlfriend. The other one was the girl that he met and started dating. Like, you just out here playing a whole bunch of women. Is that what we doing? Fellas, y'all got some game. Like, at the end of the day, I was like, wow, and you don't even have to be that attractive. You ain't even got to be fine.
No, you really got to just know how. You got to have the Riz. You know what Riz is?
No, what's Riz?
Riz is the new slang that the kids be saying. It's like charisma. It's short for charisma. You got to have Riz to like.
So maybe he was very charismatic.
You gotta be witty, charismatic, like to just make the women love you.
Yeah, I don't know what he was doing to these women, y'all. I don't know if it's the conversation.
Yeah.
What are we lacking as women? Well, first of all, let me defend these women because they had no idea that he was seeing 4 women. I want to say it was 4. I'm trying to count who was all on the couch. Yeah. But I think it was 4 women, 4 beautiful black women. At the end of the day, highly intelligent, educated. Like, how do you play us like that? How was you even able to finesse?
The Riz.
The Riz. He had the Riz then. The swag. Riz. The Riz is like the new swag.
Exactly, yeah, exactly.
Wow, well, he must have been swagalicious because let me tell you something. When you got swag like that, you could do whatever you want. Them women wasn't even, I don't know if I would be able to, I'm too inquisitive.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? If my man ain't coming to my house and spending the night, and I ain't seeing you but once every couple of weeks, I'm gonna start being very inquisitive about where are you? What are you doing? If you single and I'm single, why you ain't at my house or I'm at your house? Like, women, what questions are we asking? And I know this is a little bit off topic, but this has to do with emotions too. You know what I'm saying? What are we doing as men and women that we allow, we see the red flags and we just bypass them? Come on, we got to do better, ladies, gentlemen. We got to do, because there was a guy on there too. Fine. He was fine as hell living here in Atlanta. And his girlfriend was I think she was from like Kansas City or something. And she was messing with her best friend. She was sleeping with the female best friend boyfriend on her man. And she was pregnant.
With this female best friend, her best friend's boyfriend?
No, she was pregnant by her boyfriend. But just the fact that you just like in this circle intermingling, like,
yeah.
And this man fine, he can have any woman he want, and you out here making him look like a dummy. Like, come on, stop making people look ridiculous. You look ridiculous. She look ridiculous as hell. You a beautiful woman out here playing these games. Like, what's wrong with you? What are you lacking? What did you not get as a child?
Yeah, did she say why she cheated? Do they tell why they cheated, or they just get caught and then what?
What did she say why she cheated? I don't remember why she said she cheated. But there ain't no excuse for it, shit. Yeah. Ain't no excuse for it. Man is fine. Baby, I said to myself, well, let him go, because somebody else would definitely swoop him up. If you don't want him, y'all better stop being out here cheating on a good thing. There's some scrubs and then there's non-scrubs. If you got a non-scrub, you better hold on to him, because there's a woman out here looking for a non-scrub. Number 14, emotional intelligence tip. Get help when you need it. That means go see a therapist. If you feel like you are, because some people feel like aggression, they have problems with aggressiveness, reacting to certain situations, definitely go see a therapist. And if it's you and your spouse, or you and your boyfriend, your mate, your partner, whatever, make sure that you're both seeking help, to understand your emotions. Get some help to be able to identify your emotions, what triggers them, and be able to control them. So definitely go seek help. All right, y'all. So that was in. Let's talk about it at Titi's house. We're going to get into the news now. So let's get into the news. Okay, so it's so funny because this weekend on Sunday, Saul and I ordered some food from American Deli. And can I tell y'all, I got a sore throat today. I think it came from that food.
Yeah, I told her I hope she don't got COVID.
I hope not. We had to give Son a mask today.
Yeah.
Wear your mask. I don't know. Zaul and I really think it's from the food, because like I always say, my mom said if the hands that prepare the food is not healthy, then you're not going to be, you could be sick too. Meaning not healthy, meaning that they might be sick, have a cold, and they're cooking over your food. You could get sick too. Mm-hmm. It, transposes in the food. That's what my mama used to say. I don't know, y'all. I believe it though. So anyway, when we got remember the craze? So we got paper straws for American Deli is giving out paper straws instead of plastic ones.
Yeah, I hate those.
And then people used to say, well, the reason they moved from plastic is because the paper is biodegradable and eco-friendly.
Yeah. Is it not the truth?
No. Oh, do you know that there's PFAs? PFAs is a chemical used to produce the straws. And those chemicals are not good for your body over time.
Oh, dang.
So although the plastic is, we got these straws because they were biodegradable, it's not good for the human body. And they said if you use them a lot, it could be bad because it's a chemical that stays in your body. So definitely not good. I don't like the paper straws. Do you?
No, them joints be.
They break then you can't sip. I felt like after 10 minutes of it being in the drink. You can't even
drink the rest of your drink.
You got to take the top off.
It's in your drink now. Yeah, it's floating around.
I'm like, this straw didn't even last that long. Anyway, they said the best straws actually are the steel ones, y'all.
Still,
they don't have the PFAs. PFAS. The PFAS is a man-made chemical, so that's what they use in the straws. Not good. Not good at all. It might be eco-friendly and biodegradable, but it ain't good for the human body. So, you know, I remember when they started switching from the plastic straws, they did the metal ones. Remember you had to pay $1 for the metal straws if you wanted a straw? Oh my God, I remember going to 6 Feet Under a couple years ago, me and Alana. I don't remember when they started the changing from plastic to the paper, but me and Alana went to 6 Feet Under to eat, and they was like, you could purchase a steel straw for $1, and I was just like, what happened to the plastic ones?
Yeah.
But that we purchased the straw from 6 Feet Under for a metal straw. That was crazy to me, but that's what they were saying. So I don't know. I prefer the plastic ones.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, me too.
Or no straw at all.
Yeah.
If I'm at home, of course, I'm not drinking out of a straw. Are you drinking out of a straw at home?
I never
You're
had
drinking out of
straws
your
in the
cup.
house. Yeah.
It's just that, you know, restaurants and stuff. I'm leery about putting my mouth on the cup.
I mean, I put my mouth on the cup because I feel like just the water is still in there. The liquid is still in the cup. So me putting my mouth on it is the same as me drinking out of the cup.
That makes sense. That makes sense. A lot of people will just wait to get a straw before they even.
I'm like, ain't no difference. If I'm going to drink what's in this cup, I could put my mouth on it.
Yeah. That makes sense. That makes a lot of sense, Kason. So you, of course, you have a choice. You can carry your straw around.
Carrying a straw.
Carrying a straw around. That's whacked.
No, that's funny.
Oh yeah, people be like, "Oh, I got my straw."
Yeah.
I think they're still giving out straws though now.
Yeah,
I think they kind of went back because before it was like a big thing about the straws. Now it's like at certain businesses, it just depends if they want to be eco-friendly or not.
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't eaten out in a while, so I don't know what's going on.
Oh, you lucky. Yeah, we went to, we ordered in DoorDash. And I'm really kind of mad at DoorDash. I know this is a little bit off topic, y'all. But I'm really kind of mad at DoorDash because I was ordering some Indian food and they canceled my DoorDash.
Oh, I hate that.
Why did they do that? That was the first time because I'm not a DoorDasher. I don't order food, none of that. This is about the third time. I might have done it 3 times. Mm-hmm. And when they canceled my order, I was so damn mad.
Yeah, it's usually on the place. Maybe they were closing for the night, or maybe the
food wasn't ready.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It could be a bunch.
I was so mad because you don't get your money back. It goes on a DoorDash credit.
Yeah.
That sucked. Give me my money back and I can go get my own food. I don't want to use DoorDash now. Mm-hmm. I was mad. I didn't even want y'all. And it wasn't like it's $20. It's like $50 or $60.
Yeah.
Y'all, DoorDash, y'all need to stop that. Give people back their money. Put it back on their card. That's what y'all need to do. Stop trying to give us a credit. Because 9 times out of 10, when somebody gets messed over and y'all cancel their thing and y'all want to give them a credit, I don't want to use DoorDash no more. Mm-hmm. And I won't.
Yeah, I never used DoorDash. I use Uber. But if they cancel it, they just put it back on your...
Oh, they put it back on your card?
Yeah,
okay, well, that's a
Eats.
reason to switch to Uber then, because I'm not doing DoorDash no more. I'm done with DoorDash. Mm-hmm. That's it. That made me so mad.
Yeah,
then I was mad because I thought I was going to eat good. I was like, oh, I got me some lamb curry with some rice and some naan. I thought I was going to eat real good.
Yeah.
I was mad.
American Deli.
Yeah. I was so
End up eating a
mad.
cheesesteak.
I had a cheesesteak,
Yep.
but hey, American Deli cheesesteak was hitting, y'all.
I heard they be good. Yeah,
it was hitting.
One.
I ain't even gonna lie. American Deli cheesesteak and they lemon pepper wings was good. Them honey mustard ones, ugh, I can miss that. That fried rice, don't get it. I ain't like that either. I had the shrimp fried rice. It didn't have no flavor. But y'all, the cheesesteak was good. So anyway, did you hear about the custody battle between the mother and father, and the mom kills her kids because she doesn't want to give her son over to the 10-year-old son, man. She kills
No, that's
him,
crazy.
herself, and her 19-year-old daughter.
That's insane. She's bugging.
When I tell y'all that really...
She just didn't want to lose to him.
Is that why would you
Yeah, she's
not?
like-
At least you still have your son in your life, even though he was coming to move him to another state, and I think that's probably what I think she was in Florida, and he was in another state. But it's just so sad that you would take this baby's life at 10 years old, just being selfish.
Yeah, that's what it sounds.
It's a reason you lost custody.
Mm-hmm.
The courts made the decision. And I'm one to tell you, I don't believe in the court system. I ain't going to no white man to tell me how to split my time, how much child support I should get. I ain't never been one to go to the court to fix my problems. I'm sorry, except my divorce. Give me a damn divorce, because you got to go to the court for that.
Yeah.
But as far as like child support or child custody, why do we need somebody to come in here and tell us how to do this? You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. No, we can figure it out. Like, I just think that when you involve the courts, it just changes the dynamics of the parenting. You know what I'm saying? Because you have one person mad at the other because they're getting more child support than they need. Men feel like the women are getting their money and the money's not going to the child. Like, it's so many factors in that. But why is it that people can't come to an agreement amongst themselves?
Because they're not emotionally intelligent. Yeah.
Comes back. Good point, producer. It comes back to emotional intelligence. Mm-hmm. Like,
and it's like, I'm gonna have to let them deal with it because we can't figure it out ourselves.
We can't figure it out. I mean, your dad and I just sat down and I said, I don't have to tell you. A woman should not have to tell a man what it takes to raise a child. You know what I'm saying? And for me, the most important thing is involvement. I'll take involvement over money anytime. You know what I'm saying? But if a woman is struggling for herself and her financial situation is lower than yours, your obligation is to give her the money to help her run her household that your child lives in. And whether she spends it on electricity, because I'm going to tell you, it's going to go to electricity, to cable, because we need internet, because he got schoolwork to do. Like, it's going to the household. I ain't buying no damn Gucci bag with your child support payment. I think that's men have this misconception that we're abusing the funds that we're getting. Now, some women do, and some women don't. You know what I'm saying? Every situation is different. I don't know. I think that's like, but to kill your child because you don't want your spouse to have them, that is messed up.
Yeah, that's savage.
That is so savage and so messed up. Like, people don't think before they do things. That was not the right way out.
Yeah, and you said she killed her older daughter that had nothing
to do with it. The 19-year-old that had nothing to do with it.
Yeah,
I guess she said, you ain't getting none of my kids.
She was mentally ill, unstable.
Unstable, I think. You're right. You're right, producer. I think she was unstable. It's just sad. Just like this woman, unstable. Cheated on her husband, got an STD, falsified a rape report.
I heard about that.
You heard about that? Yeah. So that the husband didn't know she cheated. Man, just tell your husband you cheated and got an STD. Like, at the end of the day, what you gonna do? What you gonna do? You're out here. At Titi's house followers, have these people not learned their lesson that falsifying reports will get you time in jail? What are we missing?
And you're gonna get caught.
You're going to get caught. We learned that with the young lady from Alabama. Mm-hmm. There were several other incidents after that. The little girl that said her friend had got abducted. Like, what are we thinking? This is not a game. This is not a game, people. Come on. We got to do better as a society, as a community. Like, where are we missing things? I don't know. I hear so many things about the government. I was talking to a friend yesterday, y'all, and he started saying some stuff, and I was just like, where are you getting this from?
Yeah.
He said the government burnt Maui to get the people off the land so that they can have their land.
Like in Hawaii?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And I was just like, Marcus, where are you getting this from? Because I was like, I believe that the U.S. government is corrupt, and that's just my opinion.
For sure.
My opinion, like I always say, everyone's entitled to it. We all have an opinion. I have an opinion, and my opinion is that they're corrupt. But to say that they're burnt the island of Maui and they're not going to rebuild, like, where's this coming from?
I don't know.
That sounds so outlandish. Y'all, if y'all hear anything about this, let me know because I'm curious.
Yeah.
My friend Marcus, for a minute there, I was like, Marcus is doing drugs. I don't know what Marcus is doing. I like Marcus, but I don't know what Marcus is doing over there. Anyway, so let's talk about greens and greens. This is our health and wealth segment. I want to just talk about health today. And I really want to talk about Italy's ban of lab-made meat. Did you hear about that?
Lab-made meat? Like what kind?
Salmon, steak made in a lab. Did you know that it was being made in a lab? No. That steak? I knew fish was.
Yeah, I knew like sway or whatever that fish is.
Sway,
like some man-made
and then tilapia.
Yeah, exactly.
Like I knew of those fish, y'all, but I never knew of salmon and steak.
That's crazy.
Being lab grown. How do you lab grow?
What are they cloned, or is it like a cloned cow or?
I have no idea, but Italy is banning it. I'm surprised that Italy hadn't banned this before because they're so health conscious as far as eating fresh foods.
Exactly.
And everybody that goes to Italy says the difference in Italy is the food.
Yeah, exactly.
You can taste the freshness. Everything is hand-picked and handmade, and it's just good food. Mm-hmm. Like, wow. To think that at the end of the day, you know, they were still having lab-grown meat. And if you're caught in Italy making lab-made meat, there is a fine for that. There is a fine.
What's
so
the
you're
fine?
going
Do
to
you know?
jail. I don't know the fine. I need to find out. But there is a fine. And as we know, there's foods in, I just want to go through some American foods that are banned in other countries in the European Union, right? Mm-hmm. In the European Union. American ground beef is banned, so they don't want none of our meat over there. Dang. American chicken, so they don't want our chicken. That's because we are probably ingesting it with a whole bunch of hormones to make them big.
Yeah, make the big thighs.
They don't want fat chicken over there. Stop America trying to send them fat chicken. They don't want it. American pork is another one. And that's because they're injecting them too. Mm-hmm. With ractopamine, which is a chemical that they put in the pork to make it increase weight, make them heavier. Salmon is banned. Did you know that salmon is banned?
No, I didn't.
In the European Union, and milk.
Because we're not supposed to be drinking cow milk anyway.
No, we're not. Is that what they're saying?
We're the only animal that drinks another animal's milk. Cows aren't drinking human milk.
No, and they're eating their organic. They eat. I mean, not organic. They are. They eat grass. Cows eat grass.
Cows eat grass. Yeah.
There's a lot, you guys. There's a lot of stuff that the FDA approves in the U.S. That is not approved in other countries.
Yeah, it's because it's all about $1 here. You know what I mean? It's funny because people always ask me like, you know, I'm vegetarian. They're like, man, you eat that fake meat, the fake, you know, Beyond Meat. I'm like, y'all eating fake meat too. At least I know my meat is fake. Like, you know.
Yeah, I know it's fake.
Yeah, I know.
Y'all don't know it's fake.
Yeah.
Our shit is. Oh, excuse me, y'all. I'm trying not to curse. The meat is being washed in slime, like pink slime. Yeah. It's like a chemical.
And they say they wash chicken with bleach, right?
With bleach, yeah. Like at the end of the day, that cannot be good for you. That's why cancer is a big business. Do you know? It's so crazy. I was watching something and they said that people have come up with cures for cancer. And if they come out and say that there's a cure for cancer, guess what? It's going to be a bullet to their head.
Yeah, that's why they say Dr. Sebi.
It's a billion dollar business. Like at the end of the day, we are not trying to cure cancer for what? Chemotherapy costs money. Mm-hmm. A lot of money. Radiation costs money. Why would we ban it? Why would we, not? It's just crazy to me. The U.S. is the only one that healthcare, we're paying for healthcare. Canada healthcare is free.
Yeah, and if it was free here, then they probably would want the cures because then they're like, hey, that's less money that we got to pay. Less money,
but because it's private insurance.
Yep.
They're making money off these private insurance companies. It's crazy. It's just crazy to me. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. What happened to universal health care? We need that. I was watching a movie. What was the name of the movie I was watching? It was actually a really good movie. But it was about, was it on Tubi? Because I love Tubi, y'all. I think it was on Prime Video. I can't remember the name of the movie, but it was about 3 girls, sisters. They were really like cousins, but they grew up as sisters. And the grandmother got sick, and it was going to cost a lot of money to get her the treatment for cancer. Mm-hmm. And they went out and robbed some Asians and got the money. And guess what? At the end of the day, the Asians came back and killed the grandmother anyway. So y'all done robbed them Asians for nothing.
Dang.
But the whole point is that the disparity in healthcare amongst blacks that can't afford healthcare. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy to me. There's so many disparities. Yeah. Just like when we talked about the Wegovy and the diabetic weight loss drug. Uh-huh. It's so much to talk about with that, because we say it's a weight loss drug because people that are overweight are using it. But it's really a diabetic drug that is to help people that have diabetes. And if you think about it, the drug is so expensive. It's like $1,000 a month. And if you don't have insurance, even with insurance, it's still like $300 and something.
That's crazy.
So how do people that really need it? So you got the rich and famous using it for weight loss. So as they're using it for weight loss, the people that really need it are not getting the drug and can't afford it. So guess what? By popular demand, it's not available over here because it's been available over here. They're paying to get it. Mm-hmm. And they're paying cash to get it. That's the disparities in healthcare.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's sad because everybody doesn't get the same service if you don't have insurance. I remember before, if you didn't have insurance, they would turn you away. Now you just get billed for it.
Yeah.
They would turn you away because you don't have insurance. You could be dying. Can't help you. Do you have insurance? People were dying. Can't be doing that. U.S., we have a lot. Let me tell y'all, for y'all that want to, y'all better get yourselves together and find another country to go to. Because this country, although I grew up here, I came to the States when I was 5. I don't feel like this is my motherland. My motherland is Panama. That's where I'm from. I have dual citizenship. But I can tell you this is not going to be where you want to live in the next 20 years. Find you a place to go. There's a lot of people living in other countries. I was just watching a girl on Instagram that moved to the UK. Mm-hmm. And she showed her journey of, her decision to move to the UK. And she's over there and she's happy. So it's like, you can live somewhere else happily ever after.
Yeah, I'm trying to be out. Panama.
I'm trying to be out to Panama, y'all. That's my retirement country. Soon to come. But anyway.
So I did find the poll from last week.
Oh, you did?
Yeah. The question was, whose decision is it to be in a relationship? The woman's, the man's, or both? And there was 0% that said it's the women's decision. 18% says the man, and 82% said it's both.
Oh, so the man decides. Y'all trying to say the man decides over the woman deciding? I think y'all got that wrong. That is wrong. The woman decides. It's her choice to be in the relationship. Nah, really, it's both.
Yeah.
I agree. It's both. Let me be quiet because somebody going to come back and tell me I'm an old used up Benz with a high price. Which I thought was ridiculously funny, y'all. Anyway, thanks for following us today, y'all. Like, follow, and share. Remember where we are, what platform: Spotify, iHeartRadio. We are on YouTube, and we are on, I always leave
Apple
one out.
Podcast.
Apple Podcast. So definitely come out there, listen, like, follow, and share. And thanks for joining us today, y'all. We're out. Deuces.